Look. Listen. I got one of my biggest cheerleaders in the background. Y'all probably just heard her. That was Miss Savannah, such a lady. Y'all like how I sang that? I feel it. But equally as important, it is another Wednesday. I am your host, Kenda, on a show called Mind of My Own Podcast. Y'all know it's mine. You been here.
What?
You been here.
I need all that energy.
You know?
All of it.
And this is my sis, Tashemia Dean. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm about to clap.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having me. I am so excited, girl.
Yes, I'm excited. We recorded the last show and you were in the comments and I'm like, yep.
Hey.
That's it speaking saying we need to do this again because we did this before.
And I was a little, I was a little scared. I was a little.
Why?
That was the beginning. I was in the beginning of the
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
I'm good now.
I'm proud of you though. You've been stepping out your shell. Yes. I noticed your content is even getting better. Like just you putting yourself out there with content that's like really encouraging people and you promoting yourself, you're branding, you are empowering people on a daily basis. And she is a force to be reckoned with, ain't she, Tom?
Thank you. Thank you.
She is. Anywhere, anytime.
Hey, I'm so proud and so happy for everybody. Like y'all are doing some great things as well.
Thank
Kenda,
you.
You are amazing.
Thank you.
And Savannah and Tone, y'all doing some great things.
Thank you.
And thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you for having me.
You welcome anywhere we go. Okay. Yeah. You might as well say she VIP, she the MVP.
Right.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
I love that.
So let's get started because the topic that we discussed and that we decided on for the day is a very important topic.
Yes, it is.
It's a very important topic. So we're talking about changing social norms or societal norms.
Creating different norms.
Yes, creating different ones. Because a lot of the societal norms have outgrew the age of which when they were created. We are way more advanced group of people these days where we have had all types of studies and we've been examined and people are understanding and discovering some of their traumas, some of their deepest, darkest moments. They're speaking about, they're being more vulnerable these days. But people are also still hanging on to some of those toxic norms, right? And we want to talk about it.
Yeah, we want to talk about it. We need to put it on the table because a lot of people don't understand how much of that control that they have when it comes to changing, social norms. Whether it's the way you a handshake. People think that you automatically got to shake somebody's hand. But
right.
COVID has changed things and say, hey, you don't even have to touch a person. You can just nod your head,
exactly.
say hi, and that's okay. So COVID was able to change a social norm. Why can't we change those difficult ones?
Yes, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I think that we should be reevaluating some of our choices, some of our routines, some of our habits. Because ultimately it's going to make us a better version of ourselves. We're going to pass on better values to our kids. The community changes, and overall it's just a better world that we end up living in, right?
Yeah, because we definitely we're in a stage where we are recreating what our future can actually look like. And because we're in a position where we're breaking generational curses, we are getting healed. Like a lot of our ancestors didn't get a chance they didn't have the resources to get healed, but now we're in the healing stages of our culture. And we're changing norms, to a certain extent, but there's certain things as far as socially that needs a little bit more, tweaking.
Yeah. So I was gonna say start naming some because I think that's a great point.
So one that I advocate towards and is alcohol consumption. Like we have this misconception that in order for us to have a good time, have fun, enjoy everybody, we have to consume alcohol. And if not just that, we got to get drunk. Like how okay is that? Like sometimes, I don't want to judge, but what I'm saying is that we have to kind of reevaluate our relationship with alcohol. And I'm just saying me, because for me, my drinking responsibly means I can't consume it at all. But for somebody else, it may be other things. So like, do you actually have to go to that party or whatever and get drunk?
Right.
Your limit may be 2. Let's just keep it there.
Let's just keep it there.
And let's not let society.
That's my limit, by the way.
Huh?
That's my limit, by the way.
Let's not let society push us to that, to the point of actually consuming, to the point where we're like wasted, where we don't remember how much we spent. Or like me, like I spent TK. I said TK. Let me slow down a little bit.
It's okay.
I spent $10,000 in the bars in 2019. 2019.
So that was just for the whole year, January to December.
Yeah.
Wow. People, I'm pretty sure people spend more than that.
Exactly. And because I was able to go back and look at that, most of the time it was because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be in a situation like, you know what, I want to stay. So I want to stay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep drinking. Or I want this person. This person is like, they're quiet. They need a little bit, or something. Let me buy them a drink,
right?
Or let me call so and so and see if they want to come out and drink, because I like how they get me, basically going.
Right.
So it got to a place where I was spending too much money. And a lot of us do that.
Yeah.
We will literally spend way over our budget to please other people.
That's true. That's very, very true. Yeah. I also feel like drugs. Drugs is a big thing.
Yeah. Relationships.
Yeah. People be taking Xanax. I just gotta take a Xanax.
Right. Versus actually
what?
fighting through that feeling.
What? People just do that. They just be taking Xanax like it's a peppermint.
Man. It's a lot of stuff. Even relationships, like another thing. People think it's normal, and we were just talking about this, that just because you have a baby with somebody, that the expectation is that person is going to stay.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not how it go. Yeah, you may want that person to stay, but let something that look better, or something that that sparks his interest, or he start getting all messed up. He ain't gonna be there because you probably kick him to the curb,
right?
And then that was just you and that child.
Yeah.
So we as women have to think about, let's not bring him into the world having that expectation that he's gonna be here. Let's bring him into the world knowing that it's just gonna be you and the kid.
Yeah.
Because you're making that.
I was gonna say, even the concept of relationship. I've been talking about this a lot for like the last week on social media. If you guys are paying attention to my posts, to my reels, and my stories, please do like, comment, share. Threw that in there. The reason is because the panel is hosting a live event July the 27th right here at Sherman Phoenix, and we are talking about loyalty. We are talking about trust. We are talking about respect. Now, listen, there are some societal norms attached to those 3 words right there. And one of the key things that people think about the most is their relationships, and not just their romantic ones, but their relationships with their friends and their family. All key things that either determine if those relationships are going to last, if those relationships are worth repairing, or if you just gotta cut that shit loose. Sometimes you just gotta cut it loose. Gotta cut things loose, cut people loose. So I think too, when you were talking about a woman deciding if she's going to keep a baby, and making a conscious decision to understand that just because you keep the baby don't mean you get to keep the man.
Exactly.
So let's talk about not being able to be in a relationship with somebody who has the same values. Some of our values are societal norms, such as the roles that people play within the home. Um, I might be the breadwinner, and he might not be. And he might be a good dang on plumber. And that might be what his family been doing.
Right.
Hey, why y'all laughing? Don't make me laugh.
Look, I'm the breadwinner.
He might be the best plumber. Plumbers make good money. But I might be the breadwinner. I might be in corporate America. I might be some type of executive leader.
Right.
Meanwhile, he ain't making bad money, but I'm making more than him.
Hey, he making the money fit somewhere.
Right. He making it fit in the household somewhere. But some might say he's not on my level. Financially, why would I jump into a relationship, have a baby and all that with a dude who makes like way less than I do? You know what I mean? So even like that, like people saying like some of the norms is that the man is supposed to be the breadwinner. How many stories have we heard where women are complaining that their men are jealous of them because they are making more money? How many stories have we heard where women aren't valued while they're working, taking care of babies, they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're going to the grocery store, buying all the shit, they doing everything, they advancing their own personal goals. They're investing in their kids' softball games and they're doing poetry night with their daughters, you know, doing whatever their kids is interested in.
Exactly, right.
And the man think he could just go to work and come
home. And that's it.
Sit in front of 2K.
Yeah.
That's some people think that's a societal norm. So it really depends on where you from and how you look at shit. But it's a lot of people who got a real flawed way of thinking, including, like you said, thinking that they need to consume high amounts of alcohol in order to enjoy themselves.
I think it's also a societal norm too when it comes talking about that, is that you have to stay with a person because they have a substance abuse issue.
Don't leave me when I'm down. When I'm already low, don't you dare walk away. Now
that's a social norm too, because when a person stays, then now they're addicted to something because they got to go through all of this trauma that this person is actually utilizing substance to cope with the trauma, right? They're dealing with all of that, all of the cussing them out, or even if it's a domestic violence situation, they're dealing with all of that. So now they got to cope with what they've been experiencing from this person. They got to cope with it. And now they're turning to substances, and their whole outlook of life has changed because they chose to stay with this person because society has made it a norm that you got to stick by a person through thick and thin. I don't really believe that. I don't believe that.
This is a good conversation.
I definitely
listen. Let me get to the comments right fast. Hey, loves from Ship Crystal. Crystal, hey girl.
Hey, Crystal girl.
Thank you for tapping in, baby.
I definitely don't agree with that. A person needs to stay with their significant other through thick and thin. I don't believe in,
especially if they dogging you.
Now, like, I love God.
Yeah,
I definitely love God. But God, if it's interfering with my mental health, my mindset, and where I want to go, I'm bouncing.
Yeah,
I'm not staying.
Yeah,
I'm not staying.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that all the way to the tops of the mountaintops.
Yeah, so that definitely, I definitely don't agree with that. But yeah,
you know what? And even the classifieds of what is considered thick and thin can be a societal norm.
Yeah, definitely. Because
Judge is wild. He over there
in the beginning of my relationship. Was in the beginning of all my mess with alcohol. And my man has put up with so much when it comes to me. I'm literally saying, like, when I was in them days of drinking and getting drunk, he put up with so much. Now, if it was the other way around, oh no, I would have been left me.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh no, you're going to have to find somebody else that can deal with that because I can't. So I love him.
I like the honesty.
Even like literally putting up with my mess because, girl,
You was going through.
That's what I'm saying. I got a whole series of books coming out.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna help somebody.
It's definitely gonna help somebody. I love this. I got to clap.
Thank you.
Y'all hear that? Is it clapping? Clap, clap, clappity, clap, clap. Um, let me look at the comments again. I got y'all both are a force to be reckoned with. Oh, didn't I say that before the show started?
Yes.
Oh, let's go. Thank you, baby. So are you. You are powerful. And I appreciate your support every time I'm on. You be on there. Savannah said, "Oh my God, this is so true. Individuals just be following others just to have fun." That's true. That's true. That's how people get addicted to different things. Like, why the hell would you know what? I'm not gonna say it like that because that might sound insensitive.
Well, addiction is a disease.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Some people can't even, they can't control it. It's something. It's a disease.
Yeah.
And when I look back at when my dad had passed away, the society. Oh, that's another societal norm. The family allowing people in the family to mess up, to just do whatever, hurt themselves.
Yeah. To just sit back and watch it happen.
And just sit back and watch it happen.
Yeah.
And don't, want to make sure so-and-so got a beer. Want to make sure so-and-so. I know I keep going back to the alcohol.
No, it's okay.
But
I
think that's a big, big, big one.
It is a big problem.
And I think that's a huge issue in our society too, because we've made it so okay to, like, the people put the liquor stores in our
emotional damage.
That wasn't even on purpose. That's crazy. But you know what's wild is what you're talking about. Right. That went right with what the that was God. Hey, that was God, because I did not push that on purpose. Let me push that up. Yes, come on. That's so funny. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Spiritual encouragement.
Yes, that was yes. Go on, baby. Go on.
Ooh, yeah. That so they put the liquor stores in our neighborhoods, right? Mm-hmm. When you go to other areas, they don't have a liquor store on every corner.
Right.
But we have been so conditioned mentally that because we go through so much when it comes to trauma, that we're going to go to something that we can actually take away, that can take away all of those emotional distresses and all of that.
Right.
So it's easy accessible too.
Mm-hmm.
So that lets you know that we have the power to either go, or we can have the power of managing ourselves when we're out, in society. But we've also, fallen into the norm that it's okay.
Mm-hmm. We have. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why.
We have the highest rate. I'm sorry. We have the highest rate of people dying from cirrhosis of the liver.
Wow.
We have the highest rate when it comes to African American community. And a lot of it is because they put it there and we utilized it to, heal ourselves. And then because it's such a fun thing, it's been just this stigma of that if you don't drink, you're not accepted. And that's one of the things that, I've been experiencing. So I have to be like bold and out there in the open. Like I go to the bar or the restaurant, and if they don't have anything that I don't want no soda. I don't want water. I need me a martini glass with lime juice, mint leaf. I want my drink to look just like that.
Fancy.
You're not finna exclude me. But that's where our mind has to be when it comes to social, like changing the social norms. We got to take that ownership of who we are.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I'm going to dive a little bit into that too, because I noticed that people will even get upset with you if you try to limit them on what they can and cannot have. So, for example, the bartender might say, "I'm sorry, but you've had too many. I will not continue to serve you. That's my job. I'm supposed to look after you. You can't tell me how much to drink. Ain't I spending my money here? Ain't I spending my money? How you gonna tell me what I can and can't do? I'm grown. I've been drinking all my life." So even that, like, people will get triggered by you trying to assist them when you see them doing something that's destructive
Mm-hmm.
to themselves. And so a lot of people, I think that's what contributes to people just sitting by and just, well, let me make sure Uncle John got his beer, because if he ain't got his beer, we ain't gonna have no peace tonight at game night. Uncle
Exactly.
John gonna show up, and he gonna have a fit.
Or the fact that people will go to the bar not even knowing what they want, and they allow the bartender to pour their worries, to pour
Mm-hmm.
their drinks. You
Yeah.
don't know what that bartender is putting in there. I think that um going to the bar to know exactly what you want, that's important. That's actually managing how you're going to drink socially.
Right.
Because you don't what if you can't even take rum and the bartender and gave you rum?
Right.
Or what if you don't even know how much the drink is and then you already messed up? So at the end of the night, you wasn't thinking that you were gonna, what is that? Spend as much as you did.
Right.
Or what about not even that? People not holding people accountable when they know that they've drank too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go out with people, and so you just gonna let so and so and just get messed up.
You just gonna let them keep drinking, and you see they falling over, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Or the fact that you know that this person is going through something, you know, and most of the time, and I'm just saying this because I see it. I mean, I know that I was
And you
a
been
part
there.
of it. I've been there. But if you know that a person has a problem, they have an issue,
Mm-hmm.
they're literally going through something, they need some literal some help. Why keep feeding them drinks?
Right.
That's become normal as well too.
That's true.
So it's been really just being in the journey and just actually being like trying to put myself in there. It's been challenging, but I've developed a mindset where I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna, hey, even if I gotta bring my own drink,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. And I don't care what you do, but just know that I may have something to say when it comes to maybe you should kind of slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And that's
That's
what you're
it.
supposed to do.
Just slow down a little bit. Or how you feel. Are you good? You want some water? How
Mm-hmm.
about you have a mocktail or a non-alcoholic beverage option?
Yeah.
And then maybe we can go back to drinking 2-3 hours later. So then I know that let me just slow down.
Yeah.
Then I know that your tolerance is better. It's on ground level.
Mm-hmm. Those are some great points. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you got to look after each other, and that includes telling people stuff that they don't want to hear, or telling people that they doing too much. Sometimes you got to tell people that. So
Yeah.
um i I agree with you 100%. This is great. We got some more comments up here. Oop, scroll up, Tone. Dang. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Brittany said, woo, trigger us, Kenda. Tom said that's not fair though. You could have a job like an LPN while he's an entrepreneur. You can't get in your chest because she makes more. I agree. Don't get in your chest, man.
It
Don't
ain't
get in
nothing
your
in
chest.
the world to settle just so you don't look like the bad one. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with that one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We were raised by boomers who stayed out of survival. So we're the generation to reset the standard,
Yep.
which is why there is so much emotional financial confusion between men and women. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Preach.
Yeah.
Preach. Y'all preaching in the
That is
comments.
so true. That is so
Absolutely.
true.
Accountability don't exist in some families. Very, very factual.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Judge says we all in 100%. God did. Yes, God did.
No emotional damage for real.
Yes, that was crazy. I accidentally pushed that button.
Black family structure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because I guess that's why it's called generational curse breaker
Right.
because somebody got to see something different.
Somebody got to see
They got to
something
see something
wrong.
different. Yep.
Somebody's got to want something better,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody has to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to put the action in place. Just sitting around talk about, I don't like when Uncle John come around here, he always drunk and he just be walking around and he ain't got nothing good going on. And
Right,
just talking about him ain't gonna help. You gotta say, you know what, Uncle John, you've been drinking like this, or you've been doing this for a while, and I love you. and I
Mhm.
want to help you. You know what I mean? You
Exactly.
got to say it like that. So
Mhm.
that's another thing. Like people will just that's another societal norm to me is people will just ignore it,
Yeah.
but then they gonna go talk bad about
They
you.
gonna talk bad about you. Yeah. Yeah. Tashima spent $2,000,
Right. They
but
gonna
they
talk
but
about you.
they was drinking it.
And they
Right.
know it wasn't good for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
But we just gonna act like we don't see it when it's happening. But then when she not around, we gonna talk about it. Like, that's not okay.
Girl, did you see how she was all up on dude? Yeah,
Man.
and she got his number and went home with him.
And you let her go home.
Right.
You let her go home with him.
Right. Right.
Like man, it's just it do be some crazy stuff.
Yes.
Fact somebody has to lead by example and stand on it.
Mhm.
No matter what, yes. This makeup artist JB, she is my Scorpio sis. She did my makeup before.
Okay.
She's a great makeup artist.
I have to check
Um,
her out.
Shout out to you, sweetheart. Great topic. She said, drop your if you got a business, go ahead and drop the link.
Mhm.
Cause we about that and we got people watching. So y'all might as
Yes.
well. You might as well.
Mhm.
Get y'all makeup done by her. Ship Crystal, she do copies and prints.
All your business prints and
Prints for all
everything.
kind of business stuff.
Mhm.
Brittany Keys, Miss Brittany Alexandra Keys. She is a real estate agent. Well, I got her up there. Savannah Lupus has no face.
Mhm.
Judge, he has facts by fiction. See, I know y'all. I fuck with y'all for real. See, look at that.
Mhm. Right. Mhm.
Yeah, so go ahead and drop them business links, websites. Go ahead.
Yes. And Tashima, founder of Fight
And
AAA, Fight
yes,
Anxiety, Addiction, and Adversity Corporation.
yes.
Also, I'm the CEO of Surrendered Spirits. Yep. And my name, my email is coachmst@fightaaa.com.
Absolutely. Y'all make sure y'all support because she doing the God's work. The God.
And I'm an author. I'm an author of
Yes.
Fasting for God's Glory, available on Amazon. Also, Cheers to Sobriety, which will be available in September during my book tour.
Girl, let's talk about the book tour. Let's
Yes.
let's switch gears because you brought it up and it's important and I'm here for it.
Right.
Let's talk more about the book tour.
So let me explain how it all started.
Okay.
So originally I was going to do a regular book release celebration because September 2nd would be 2 years that I've said no to alcohol.
Wow,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
And
I
my
wanted
dad.
to do it, like that at first. And
Yeah.
then something came to me because I'm totally different. I like to do things like very different, and I want to make sure that it actually like speaks loud,
Mhm.
So I spoke with my business coach, which is therapist Mikhail Dent. Yes, she the
Yes.
mom.
That's
And
also Savannah's coach, y'all.
yes, she the mom. And
Yes. Shout
she
out
the
to
mom. She's so
therapist
dope.
Mikhail
She's so dope. I thank
D.
God for her. And
Aw. That's so sweet.
so we were talking about the book, and I told her my idea, and she told me that she wanted me to write down all of the establishments that cater to individuals
Mhm.
that don't drink. So basically, where does your target audience hang out? And I had already had a lot of the establishments because I was doing dry crawls in the summer last year.
Yes.
So I ended up completing the assignment, and then I put some prayer on it because I like to always make sure that I'm moving by the will of God. And
Yes.
God will actually give me those ideas that I would have never thought of. So I said, you know what? A book tour would be like perfect.
Yeah.
It's different. And then it would be like not really expensive, of course. And then I'll be able to showcase those establishments that do not serve alcohol
Right.
and give people that are in the same struggle with me like I am, far as being able to go out in society and be included. They have a place where they can be themselves and they can
Mhm.
enjoy themselves. So and that's how the book tour came about.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. That is going to be a very successful book tour. I'm looking forward to it. I'm coming.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get me a book.
Yes, I talk about all of my, not all of them, but some of the crazy situations that I was in. I'll share one.
Mhm.
One of the stories that I talk about is right in the beginning of my well, when I came back from, I'm over here stuttering.
Okay.
I came back from my treatment. Um, I wanted to go to a girls' night. My best friend was throwing a girls' night, and they were playing this game, "Will you ever?" or something. And have you ever? Yeah, have you ever? And I decided to substitute because I don't drink with Fanta soda. And in the in the midst of it, I'm drinking. I got like messed up sick, like because of all the sugar and everything. So my stomach was upset. So I mean, TMI, I was in the bathroom and all that. So that just taught me that if I'm gonna be in a situation like that, that I have to bring my own stuff, because sugar is just as bad for you as alcohol, especially if you're consuming it a lot. So so I had to be mindful of that. And then I also have like some recipes in there of like non-alcoholic shots to kind of piggyback off the story.
I was gonna say that's interesting. What are some non-alcoholic shots? Can you share a couple recipes?
Yeah, so I have the blueberry bliss shot in there, and then there's a macamingo martini. So I'm only gonna give you like one of the. So I got the recipes for martinis as well.
Okay.
Because in my drinking days, I used to always get a apple martini.
Okay.
So I talk about a story, my stories with apple martini, and then recreating an alternative to the actual apple martini.
Nice. I love that. I also think like when people go and they get drinks and stuff, it's not just the alcohol itself, it's the aesthetic of the beverage. There's a lemon, there's a lime hanging off the side, there's a cherry on top, there's some whipped cream sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes it's some ice. And the glass all pretty, it look like a crystal. So I think like that's what when you say you're not about to leave me out.
Right.
I want a pretty drink too.
Exactly.
So,
we actually consume the drink with our eyes before we even taste it.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what's in the drink. You don't know if it's alcohol in there. It could be anything in there. You actually look at it and you're like, I want that.
And let's be honest, a lot of alcohol is just nasty. Y'all be straight up drinking that shit. It be Remy Martin. It be just ugh. I'm a wine person. Yeah, I don't drink it every day. Nope, I don't need a drink every day. But I do like to have a glass of wine after the end of a long day. But like you said, it's really about how you do something. How responsible are you being with the actions in place? Like, what are you doing it for? Don't just get the drinking because you in sorrow and you need to drink it away, because you'll end up over consuming.
Exactly. One of my friends was saying that she was going to.
Bro.
Court is now in.
Let me tell y'all something. Hold on. What? These buttons sensitive as hell today, but that was funny. Right. Okay, go ahead. It did. What is happening? So you playing with me? You did that.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh my god, that's on me. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It'll come back.
So before we had started this show, we were looking at a couple different things we saw online, and one of them was talking about the types of social norms. So one of them is folkway, which means a norm that stems from and organizes casual interactions. That's when she was talking about earlier, like feeling like you need to shake somebody's hand. But now we don't feel that way anymore because of COVID. It taught us that some stuff you just don't need to do.
Right.
You can not.
It really, you shouldn't even be just hugging everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. People just can't be hugging.
Not everybody. Right. Everybody can't get a hug. Yeah. I'm done. Y'all can't hear Judge. He in the background talk about he a hugger and he want a hug if everybody else getting a hug.
Right.
Come on, Judge. This supposed to be Tashemia moment
No,
of the time.
it's okay.
But we gonna but
Right.
no, Tashima has given the okay. So I was waiting on Tashima.
Yeah, I'm good.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we talked about folkway just being something that people do for casual interactions. Another one is taboos,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what we're talking about with alcohol and things. That is a strong negative norm.
Mm-hmm.
It violates or violating in it results in extreme disgust. So like when you do something that's considered normal in society, but then at the same time it's not because people still talk crazy about you, you know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
those type of taboos. But then there's also some taboos where people just are like, what is this person doing, like why are they doing that? um but it's in a negative light that people put it in.
Yeah, I definitely get that a lot. Like, why don't you drink? Or why aren't you like, why won't you go to this place or go to this event or something? And it's not just because I don't want to go. It's not that I don't want to go. It's just that I have to make sure that I evaluate what's going on to go be there.
Right.
So I think that's and we were actually talking about that too.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. So I think that's huge because people get in these rooms and they don't even want to be there.
Right. Right. Is rooms that I've gone in where I respected somebody's business, or I respected their effort or what they was doing,
Mm-hmm.
but when it came down to us actually meshing and aligning, there's this energy present, and you know that it's not a good fit if you keep stepping in those rooms. Not saying you don't deserve to be there, not saying um that there's any drama or anything. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes you have to know yourself well enough. Well, I'm not gonna say sometimes. All the time, you need to know yourself well enough to make decisions
Mm-hmm.
based off of how it's really going to impact you.
Exactly.
Don't go somewhere and you know that it's not good for you. Like you were saying, they could be it could be something where they're having parties that require drinks parties and or games at the parties, and you got to take 10 shots. Well, I'm not about to take 10 shots.
And that's where the setting boundaries comes
Yeah.
in too. You have to be willing to set boundaries. That's a
A
social
huge
norm
thing.
is not setting boundaries. People
Mm-hmm.
think that you have to say yes. People think that you have to that you can be in my personal space. So I think that when it comes to an individual, you got to step in that position as, okay, you know what, I can't do this. I'm setting boundaries
Mm-hmm.
and become lead in who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge thing too, because you know people have to get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Because, like, for instance, just because it's your mother, it doesn't mean that you have to engage in the negativity all the time.
Right.
You can actually set that boundary and be like, Mom, you know what, I'm in a good space right now. I'm hot, like my energy is real good. I just can't take that today.
Right.
I don't want to. I can't allow you to put that on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I was
It's
even.
so it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay to do that.
It's okay. It's definitely okay to do that. And I'm sorry, Judge, I'll let you speak in just a second. I just wanted to,
Go ahead.
since we talking about that, cell phones.
Yeah.
Y'all think because I got a phone, I'm available. I'm not. You might see me on Facebook. I ain't available. That don't mean text me. This is my damn boundaries. Back in the day, we had house phones. You couldn't reach me when I was up the block.
Mm-hmm.
You can't reach me now.
Yeah.
I hate when people call me without my permission.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, that's one of my jokes.
That's funny.
I say that all the time when I'm with my daughter and I'm in the car and my music is on and it's on 100 and it's my jam and I'm in the middle of singing and then the phone want to damn ring. You think I'm answering? No.
Or you on the middle of
I'm singing.
Important call.
Yes.
It's getting real good. Like you don't want to click over. So
Yeah. Just
get that.
because you see me liking, sharing, and posting don't mean I'm available.
Mhm.
That's my boundary. This is my number. You don't pay my phone bill.
That's why I got two phones. Honestly, everybody say, "Oh, why you got two phones? Is it one for the plug and one for the load?" No, because anyone cannot reach me on this phone.
Yeah.
And always got this phone. And just to piggyback on what you were talking about, we just had a segment at Kinky's about setting boundaries,
Yep.
and I think that it all boils down to being self accountable. And what Kenda was talking about, she was referring to staying in your fucking lane,
Yeah.
knowing your lane,
Yeah.
putting on your seatbelt, and following where you're supposed to go.
Mhm.
Because otherwise, you'll find yourself at a party and it turns into a party. Trust
Yeah.
me, I've been there.
Yeah.
And you don't want to find yourself in a disposition.
Mhm.
So knowing your lane and knowing when to call it quits is very, very important.
Yeah.
With everything you guys
I
are
like
saying.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question for you.
No, go ahead.
So, what do you do? You know, because some people are so good with taking like accepting accountability for their actions.
Of
Mhm.
course.
Yeah.
What do you do when the accountability like becomes too much?
You mean
Where
like
does-
somebody is talking to you and trying to hold you accountable and it becomes too much, or do you mean?
No, what I mean is like you have someone that's constantly doing something that you know is that you're not like you don't agree with, and they know that it's bad and
Mhm.
it's not a good idea, but they continue to put themselves in it. But they know, like, I'm taking account, I'm accepting accountability for my actions. I already know, but then they're constantly
They still doing it.
So what is the deadline?
I'm going through
or
that right
what do
now.
you do
Oh.
when
You have to know your own self, and you got to understand that no one's perfect, and everyone comes with their own bullshit.
They do.
So it's almost about how much bullshit you can handle. Because you gotta otherwise you're gonna break yourself if you're dealing with too much bullshit. You deal with too much bullshit, you're gonna break yourself. And you have to find that breaking point.
I was gonna say, I also think when it starts to spill over onto me, and now I'm hurting with you, and now we're hurting together, and the most of my hurt and my pain is coming from me trying to help you, and you're breaking my heart because you don't care about yourself, and I love you, and I'm trying to love on you, and you not letting me. Then at that point, I gotta step away.
So
And all I can do is check in on you here and there and see how you doing, but I can't be that everyday phone call.
that's on point.
So basically, what she's saying is when it becomes detrimental to you.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend and he has a baby. He has a baby mama, and his baby mama always gives him trouble. And she's seeing a new guy, and he wants to go over and fight the guy. And I'm like, bro, you trying to crash out? Hey, I'm your brother from another mother. Let me crash out with you, but you gotta hold on, because some people are an assistant to their own demise.
Yeah.
And they don't give no fuck. Niggas are crash out, and you got to understand when you're in that car, you got to get out the car. You know, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
I was gonna say, or put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on, because when you do that, it's like you said, you putting a boundary, you protecting you with the seatbelt. You're protecting you. I like this car crashing thing that you went with. I'm gonna go with that.
Oh yeah,
The
let's go
seatbelt.
with it.
You know, so it's like is you're saying it's not that I don't love you. It's not that I no longer care. It's that now I need you to do what you got to do for you. I'm still here, but I'm not as available.
You know, Tika G, shout out to Tika G. She had made
Shout
one
out
of these
Tika G.
comments on Facebook saying, I'm going to check in on you, but after that, you on your own. You know, some people got to really do the work for themselves.
That's true.
And I know that it takes a village, and iron sharpens iron, but if you're over here smoking backwoods, it's just going to get dull. You can't be chopping down wood all day. You got to get some sharpening. And you got to have that for yourself. A lot of people don't care about themselves.
You know, there's a phrase people say now, let's normalize.
I was gonna say, but like I love everything that y'all was saying, but you know the one thing that can happen too is
What?
that people will get in this space of guilt.
That's true.
Say I have to pull back
Mm-hmm.
and I have to like leave you on your own. But then if that situation with that person goes sour, now they're feeling guilty. Can we actually set up like, can boundaries be set to the tone of like heightness where we can forgive ourselves because our boundaries are standing?
Yeah, you have
You know
to.
what I mean?
You got to.
Because society has made it so difficult where sometimes you got to bend that boundary a little bit But for some people, they can't bend at all.
But I think another thing people need to realize is when you dealing with something, society ain't looking at you. You ain't got nobody that you need to be showing, or proving yourself to. You, at the end of the day, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror, and what you choose to do needs to make you feel a way. You know what I mean? So even with people doing that, like, oh, they gonna look at me like this if I do it like that. I think people just gotta completely not care about that.
Fuck what other people say and fuck with your vision. And that's why I fuck with you, because your whole podcast is minding my own podcast. No one gives a fuck about your problems. Only you. Society is not looking at you. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and we don't even know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, I don't think I know no Joneses. I know a Jones, I know a Jackson, but never a Joneses.
Well, whomever they are,
yeah,
they're trying to keep up with them, and you don't know what's going on. So, social media, these phones, it's a gift and a curse.
That's why I said, just because I have a phone, doesn't mean that gives you 100% 24/7 365 access to me. This is my device. I use it for many things. It is a computer. I also use it for communication. I use it for voice notes. I put notes in here. I got a calendar. This thing serves so many functions other than you calling me, other than you texting me, other than you writing me on my DMs, anything. I'm dead ass.
You left me on red.
You left me on red. Okay. People get mad. You ain't text me back. I'm sorry. I was in the shower. Can I wash my ass? Damn. I'm just saying.
No, we want you to wash your ass.
Take it personal.
That's important.
So it's like now I'm taking my phone in the shower because somebody might call. Like if you really let it get to you and you really make yourself that available to people, you will bring your phone in the shower with you. Your phone will be on a stand like this on the edge of the shower in case somebody call. You got soap on your face and the phone ring. You like, Siri, answer the phone.
Now
you
created a norm.
Right. People was real life taking them in the shower.
Damn, when you say it like that, that's a bit of a turnoff. Don't be so available that you answering while washing your shit. Like,
people are it's true. People really, there are some people out there that cannot live without these things. They can't move without them. They can't sit them down, and they feel obligated to be available when it rings.
Yes.
Or when that buzz come in for a text.
That's because the access to access is almost a curse. Everybody wants to be available. Everybody wants to be in the know. Everybody wants to be in the in crowd, but
that's true.
I think another social norm is just because you know where I stay at don't mean you could just come over here.
Yeah, don't come over. I don't care who you is. You ring my doorbell and you ain't said nothing. You don't look like your life at risk. Don't judge me. See, this is a societal norm. Don't you dare judge me because I ain't answering the door. Now, I said it.
I don't even have a doorbell. I'll say that. All right, I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't even have a doorbell. If I don't know you're coming over, most likely I'm not gonna answer.
I'm not gonna answer. I'm gonna think it's a Jehovah's Witness. I ain't coming.
If I didn't say it was okay,
no. Damn, not even for the witness.
Not even for the witness. I'm sorry. No. It's just I'm sorry. You gotta have permission to come over here.
Right.
Call Kurt Franklin.
You don't know what I'm doing up here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've been experiencing them like. Even the idea of just because you don't drink, you can't have fun.
Right.
That's not true. But that's something I had to figure out, though. I had to find myself back in that realm of actually enjoying myself in the social scene, because that social anxiety can get you in a bubble to the point where it's like you're so like you don't want to engage and you're scared. But I had to get past that, and it was a lot of work.
And I can imagine that sometimes those interactions can be a little bit uncomfortable because the person you're talking to is a little out of it, and you're at the event, and you want to hang out with folks, but some of what they saying ain't making sense, or you see them, and you just like, ooh. You know, they're terrible at, they're terrible at drinking, or they shouldn't be doing that because,
What?
you know,
You so-
and you,
right.
I mean, and it's just the truth.
Right.
Some
guy
people,
does
I
not
always
hold
say
it
this.
together well.
I
He
say,
does not
I'm
hold
just
it
saying, I
together.
say it sometimes. I be like, dang, they know they can't handle that they liquor. Why now you don't need another shot. But see, that's how I hold people accountable. I be like, and then when people try and you want another drink, and I say no, and then an hour later you want another drink, I just told you I didn't want another drink. If I tell you no at any point in the night, that means I'm done drinking.
Exactly.
So
Right. Yeah.
it's stuff like that.
It's called peer pressure.
Yeah, people will peer pressure you at this old age.
That's why I bring my own drink, or I always make sure that I have some type of something in a drink, because I don't want nobody coming asking me, hey, you know, what you drinking? You want
Right.
to drink?
Yeah.
Because that can be a trigger for somebody.
That's right.
No.
You
I
know?
feel you.
So that's where it comes, where you have to take lead in your own recovery. You have to take lead in everything when it comes to just social norms in general.
Yeah.
You have to take the lead. That's another thing about taking the lead. Like, that's another social norm. Like, sometimes I hate to move this,
No, go ahead.
but like sometimes women expect men to take the lead.
A lot of the
But
times.
due to what you guys were saying, like how we're breaking all of the old school social norms, we got a lot more independency nowadays. So how do you take control with an independent woman?
How do you, and not even even that, independent.
What is that?
Independent woman.
Is that paying your bills?
Listen, black people are the only people that say that. You think it's a white woman walking around saying I'm an independent woman?
Exactly.
That's also another social norm.
That is good. That's good.
Ain't no white women walking around. Ain't no
find a clap for
Latina
that?
women.
Can you find
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
clap
go
on
ahead
that
and clap
thing?
for that.
That's real good. Yes. Because you know what? We have to put on this armor or this outfit of strength all the time.
Yep.
Independence.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it's okay to be independent, but we have to get to a place of allowing the man to take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to actually, and it's not even that. Like, it shouldn't be okay. I'm gonna let you lead today. Like, no, it should. It
Is
should
what it
actually
is.
happen naturally. But the woman has to create that space, though.
Yeah.
For the man to actually get in that position.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, it's okay to be independent, but I don't want to always be independent. I'm
No.
in a relationship.
Mm-mm.
Like, it may come and go sometimes. And then I don't always want to be strong. I want to be vulnerable. I want to, like, hey, I need help. I want to be loved and all of that, so it's like I'm not that strong to the point where I don't want to receive the assistance, but I can be very strong when situations hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's when that strength is gonna come.
Right.
But I'm definitely gonna need my man to step up and take lead. Like, hey, I want you, because it's too much.
Yeah.
We already go through so much.
Yeah.
Finding this new norm there, that's what it's called. It's called the new norm of the self-independent.
I don't like it.
I kind of find trouble, like, where do I fit in if I'm in the whole dating scene, if you will? Like, where do I find myself taking a leadership role with an independent woman? Because I love a strong independent woman, but where do you find that middle ground into saying, hey, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to move? And I think that the communication and the conversation needs to change up a little bit. Like, hey, what do you think? Do you understand what I'm saying? Am I conveying that right?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I think sometimes you may have to wow a person. Because a woman, some women are not, if they've never received it before, they don't know how it look.
Mm-hmm.
So
just like some men don't know what leading looks like.
Like, I don't want you to try to get all in my head about just surprising me with something. I want you to go ahead and take the lead. So most of the time, it's that action that can actually change how a woman may do things, because the man is taking the action. You don't have to ask if you want to, can I pay this bill this month? You just get the information, go pay the bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't
take initiative. Basically, it's taking
Take
initiative.
initiative.
That's what women are looking for when they say, well, I know that's what I'm looking for. When I say leader, it's not that I'm looking for the man to lead. Like, I don't need him to decide everything for me. I don't need him to dictate
Yeah.
to me. I just need him um to be somebody that I respect enough that I take his word, I take his actions seriously.
Mhm.
I'm selfless
Yeah.
when it comes to him. Um, and he puts me at his priority
Mhm.
just as much as I put him as mine. We're a team.
Mhm.
If I go grocery shopping and I cook dinner, he comes in and says, "Babe, I got the dishes.
Yeah,
Girl, I need somebody to
I'm going to load the dishwasher for you."
I love doing
Marlon
dishes.
ain't rattling no pots and pans. He'll wash the dishes. I need somebody to come in sometimes to make me some,
Yeah.
a meal. He do not know how to cook.
That's what we.
And I think that's why God gave me the ability to actually know how to cook. But sometimes I be wanting him to cook.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's another social norm
yeah.
that the man, that the woman has to cook all the time.
Right.
Or, she wants somebody, or the man, of course the man wants somebody that knows how to cook, but I want a man too that know how to
Yeah, at
cook.
least takes the initiative to cook even just some of the basic meals. Making spaghetti is not that hard. Tacos, you brown the meat. It's the pack tell you what to do.
Right.
Or even, I'm on my way home from work, babe. What you making for dinner tonight? Oh, tacos are for dinner tonight. Okay, I'm gonna take the meat out.
Mm-hmm. I
You
mean,
know, just it's the initiative
the
behind
initiative.
each other. Just like if I got to get up in the morning, I got a very important meeting. Okay, what suit are you wearing?
Right. Yeah.
Do you need me to iron something for you? Do you need
Mhm.
something washed?
Right.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Do, working together.
Okay, it sounds, I might be ignorant here, but it just sounds like it's just basic conversation,
Mhm.
basic communicating.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? Are we saying that people don't know how to communicate?
I mean, that is a thing, but I think more so what we're saying is when women are looking for leadership when it comes to their spouse or their significant other, they're looking for a partnership, not just somebody to dictate to them, tell them what to do and expect certain things from them, because we're not expecting certain things from you. We're just expecting you to
Yeah.
help us, assist you, and we assist ourselves, and we know you backing us up with that same care, that same love, that same thought process
Yeah.
of getting things done so that we all feel love, we all feel like we're taking care of each other. The difference between it being a man, though, when it comes to leadership, is there are certain decisions that he might just be stronger at. Just like it's certain things he might lean on me for because he can't
Exactly.
make that decision for himself.
Mhm.
So it's not really just the communication.
That's called submitting.
Some people call it that.
Yeah.
That is
I
submitting.
have a hard time with the word submission because I feel like um, people use it wrong
Yeah.
quite a bit. A lot of people who use submission is thinking that the women should shut the hell up and
Yeah.
not have a say, and she's
Gotta
not
ask for
even.
permission
Yeah,
to do this and go here. Yeah.
she got to dress a certain way. She got to look a certain way. She got to come home. She got to schedule. She got to do certain things from the moment she walk in to the time she go to bed. Some guys have a thought process that submission is really control.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a whole nother topic though.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother difference, and
Yeah,
you just went on a little tangent
yeah,
there.
because I've seen
But
it.
okay, okay,
I
okay,
definitely
okay.
Yeah.
agree.
We hearing
That
with
is
you. We
social
hearing with you. But
norm.
there's a difference between being controlling and submitting because
Mm-hmm.
I've learned how to submit. I, just with being within the panel, I've learned how to submit.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about what you lack, I gain, and
Mm.
vice
Exactly.
versa.
Yeah,
So if you know that about yourself, that's what I mean about
it's
communication.
really like compromise.
Mhm.
It is.
Compromise is a lose-lose situation,
I
is
don't
from
think
what I
so.
heard.
I
Is
don't
it,
think so.
do you agree with that?
Compromise is when you're bending what you believe to basically
Being
assist
malleable.
yeah, to make someone else happy. That's a compromise.
I think
Like
So,
a,
hey, I'm not happy. You're not happy. Where do we meet in the middle with this? That's compromise.
Yeah, but it doesn't
It
necessarily
doesn't
mean.
mean
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't necessarily always mean that there's people that are unhappy. A compromise could also mean, okay, you like the blue wallpaper.
mhm.
I like the green wallpaper. Let's get both. That could be the compromise.
or you
Okay.
The
could
compromise
or,
doesn't
or,
necessarily mean I had to lose for us to compromise. We could just decide, let's get what we both want.
or meet in the
You know
middle
what I'm
and get a
saying?
sea green,
Or
because
we
that's
can-
basically
or
what you're
we can
talking
do
about.
that.
You got to know your colors with
Or
this. You
how
got to
about
know
the living room's blue and the dining room's green?
this.
See what I'm saying? Doesn't
This-
mean we're losing. It means that we're finding a better solution that works for the best of us.
But this is why I say that we got to change the conversation and what we got going on, because that is compromising, and there is a difference between compromising and submitting. And there's these words have just became prevalent within our community
Yeah,
because we have the ability to heal.
Yeah.
You guys have this great conversation, and it started from the beginning, and I just love what y'all doing. I love what y'all saying.
Thank you.
Say more words.
I do have a question.
Go ahead, babe.
So when it comes to compromise, and then I look at sacrifice too,
Mhm.
in a relationship, if an individual, I'll say like for me, I stopped drinking. Now, if the significant other, if he chooses to stop drinking, is that a compromise or a sacrifice?
Sacrifice.
Yeah, that's more sacrificial
I bet.
because, especially if he enjoys it, but he realizes that, and it's not harming him in any way. He's not abusing it, but he knows that it's a trigger for you, and so for the better of the family, for the better of the union, now I'm going to sacrifice that thing that I enjoy because I've decided that this is more important. This is a priority. This is more valuable to me. I don't need that. You can then decipher what's a need, what's a want. And that's ultimately, like, I think how people make those types of decisions.
And that only comes with maturity.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of immature grown folks out here, you know, and I know some old fools. So, you know, a lot of people aren't willing to make that sacrifice. It's all about knowing who you love and loving what you want, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Ooh,
there was a
damn.
situation.
That's hot. Nothing.
That was a good point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make good points. I'm
Yeah.
Judge Rogers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Rogers.
Don't.
Do I want to say that or do I want to say
You know what? That would have been perfect. Dang.
Of course. That's
I'm gonna
my
do that
that's
next
my
time.
interest music to the bedroom, by the way. I'll lay the law down. No, I'm just joking.
You are funny.
So I know that, like, and I asked the question: what if that person? Okay, so they made that sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then something happens, life hits them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they kind of go back to drinking.
Who goes back?
No,
Whoever the
I'm
person
saying
is.
the other person.
When we first did the example, we said, what if
Mhm.
they quit or
Mhm.
sacrifice it? Now we're saying, now something traumatic has happened to them and now they've gone back to drinking.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, like, when it comes to the relationship part of it, you know, how does that work when it comes to, because I think these situations come about a lot, not
Mhm.
just with alcohol or drugs or anything. It's like everything.
Everything.
Everything
can be a drug.
Yes, everything. And
Even
then
the gym. Just
people
left
can be
it.
right. People can be triggered in life, you know, and then have to go back to it. But then you have the other person who's been like maintaining, they're good, you know, and all of that. The social, and we were talking about this earlier, the social norm is for them to stay in the situation, right?
Knowing your
But
lane, standing
They
in your lane.
probably have to, some people may have to bag back. Like, I can't even. So I think that's when sometimes in a relationship, like, the woman has to take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, have to take the lead and in most cases and kind of help that person get through that situation, you know. But some people are not strong enough.
Right.
Some people may be like, I can't even take on that. I can't take on that because it can just jeopardize my recovery. You get
Right.
what I'm saying?
Mhm,
So I
mhm.
think that's another thing too. So a lot of people stay in like certain situations or jobs. That's
Yeah.
another thing. They stay at jobs and the job is triggering them.
Right.
And it's like the social norm to stay at your job and get all of that pressure put on you. You know what I mean? Versus quitting or taking a leave of absence for your mental health. The same thing with relationships.
Right.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
We have to understand as individuals, as friends, significant others, when there becomes there's a thin line between supporting and being there for someone and enabling them. You know, that's where you have to draw the line. If something are you enabling them, or are you understanding, or are you helping them out? You know what I'm saying? So when you're enabling someone, that's like a spoiled child crying, like, oh, just give them what they want so they'll shut the fuck up. You know, that's enabling.
He's so he's so harsh with the F word.
But then there's things like, hey, let me give this person something so it will, calm them down.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Ooh, yeah.
So, sometimes when my head is running, sometimes I just need a little bit of a TLC. Right. That's not enabling me. That's comforting me, and that's being there.
Maybe instead of giving them a drink, you give them a massage. You offered.
That's alternatives.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, just maybe because who you're dealing with, and that usually that's how they cope with traumatic situations or things where they become vulnerable. You already got a bag of tricks.
Yeah,
you got a bag of stuff ready to say, you know, I'm gonna give you a facial. I'm gonna help you relax. Let's get you decompressed. Or you schedule them a day at the spa, or you offer to take them for a nice walk. It's nice outside.
Yeah. And then after that, I give them a facial.
Right.
I'm done with you.
I've been drinking.
I'm done.
I had a little drink to knock the edge off.
Oh,
see, societal norms. You got to get off the show.
Societal norms. Hey, can I get a hand clap?
No, you don't get a hand clap. You get a.
That's another thing. I'm not even gonna say stigma.
Okay. Sorry. That was funny.
Society has made it that every time a person has a red cup, that is alcohol.
Yes. Hey, every time a person has. That is true.
Like, for me,
or one of these.
Yeah.
No, you're beautiful, but.
Then you got
lean in it.
If it's a double, yeah.
Or ice cream.
Yes.
2 cups. I'm thinking lean.
Cup,
I'm thinking promethazine.
Yes. Yes.
This right here,
you're getting hyphy.
It's definitely alcohol.
That's
a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So at the end of the summer, Fight AAA will be hosting the first Red Cups and Mocktails event.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Look, changing the stigma.
Hey, we all there. The panel will show up. Y'all got to support the panel.
I mean, look, I had to think of something that was really catchy,
right?
And that was that.
That's lit. I cheers to that. I love it. I love that.
Cheers with my.
I love that. I love that for you.
Don't worry about what's in my cup.
I love that. I love your cup.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful cup.
I love the cup.
Check out her cup, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, Melissa.
I think that's what we need to be choosing. We need to
really
make our cup game a little bit better. Yeah. No more red cups, y'all. We grown.
Okay, just that we don't gotta care.
We can all drink our own troubles within our nose.
Buy 200 red cups for $6.
We love the studio. We love the studio.
Until they change the prices of other cups.
Hey, and it's right.
Yes. I'm gonna look at some of the comments right quick. Yes, we got a lot of comments. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all support me so much.
Yes.
I'm gonna jump right to makeup artist JB. She put, call me granny all you want to. I'm at a 2-shot minimum and guaranteed I'm aware of everything and everyone around me. That's great for you.
I love that.
I love that. And
congratulations on knowing your limits.
yes,
Like, I love that.
Being self-aware is very important. That's key. Brittany, she says, be a partner. There is no taking control of modern women.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Are we modern though?
Oh. Yeah, he gonna talk about that on his show.
No, but this right here, I want to go ahead and emphasize the 2-shot minimum thing.
Yeah.
One thing about me is I'm not a big drinker.
Me either.
More. Okay? When I was in the Air Force, of course, when we had our down days, we partied.
Right.
That's damn near almost a military thing right now.
Mm.
But as I got older, and a lot of y'all might notice this as we do more and more events, I'm always the proverbial mother hen in the group. So I, by default, am always the one who makes sure everybody else is good. Even when we can be getting together and celebrate. Shout out to Black.
Shout out to Black.
I would drink, but if you ever pay attention, I regulate my drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I keep tabs of how much I've already had because there's a level I refuse to ever get over because at the end of the day, I need to make sure that everybody else around me is good. If shit pops off, I need to know how to get y'all out this jam.
Yeah.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And I can't do that if I'm just as inebriated as you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
exactly.
if you do something wild, I need to be able to grab you and it's like, yo, fam, you need to chill out. But if I'm just as messed up as you are, this wild can escalate really quickly.
Right.
And depending on who it is, it may turn into something violent. And look, I don't want to do time.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I'm that person who definitely regulates my drinking. And more importantly, I regulate the drinking of those who are around me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've got to your point where you got too much, I am that person to say, nah, bro, you ain't getting no more. Or here, you might need a water in between there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might be like, yo, I got the tab. And I don't take the tab because I'm just a nice person. I take the tab because you can't order anymore.
Ooh.
Exactly.
That's a good suggestion.
It's a hidden gem. Whereas if you have the tab and you know you have a friend that drinks too much, when they get ready to order something, the bartender has to come to you when it's time to pay. Say, no, don't put that on there. Because if he's too drunk to even realize he ordered another drink, he's not going to usually remember that he ordered another drink.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's my way. That's my little gem of how I can control the narrative for some people in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I've been there before.
Yes, you have.
Tone has helped me out a lot of times, and that's what it takes. It takes accountability because you gotta have accountability in the courtship that you carry within your group.
I actually made a post about that today. I said it's very important that your partner has people around them that hold them accountable.
Yeah.
That is so important. I cannot tell you in relationships that I've been in where I have seen my partner with people who don't necessarily look after them the way that I would.
Yeah.
So then you have to look at
so when I'm not with you and I see you later, you are highly intoxicated.
You know what?
You are so intoxicated.
Yeah.
I can smell it on you. And it's only when you with that person.
Yeah. Trigger.
And I'm telling you about yourself. Don't forget who you are when you get around people. If you are not strong enough to remember you when you are around those people, then you should not be around them.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
That's really good.
No, I'm glad you said that because it brings up something that I think a lot of us don't talk about.
Yeah.
What's that?
We need to be mindful of our mates and our friends and how that correlation exists with each other. Like a lot of conversations right now that I've been noticing popping up is when the mate and the friends and being in the same room.
Yeah.
Like there was a conversation that came across my timeline about how when the guys are over by the house, the girl is supposed to go into the bedroom, or the man shouldn't want to stay home when it's girls' night at the house or anything like that.
Those are gender roles. What
Those
you
are
just
those
talking
gender
about?
roles, but
The
I
whole
think that's silly.
But I think
yeah.
that's dumb. And the reason why I bring that up, because this is piggybacking off of what you just said. Your mate needs to know your friends.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care how long y'all have been friends. If your friends are good people, your mate will recognize that for you.
Yep.
And the great thing about that is because your mate should love you. If you are in an actual, true, genuine, loving relationship and not a transactional relationship, your mate should care about who you're around. So if your mate says, hey, I don't like Connor, I don't like Dave, I don't like Nate, you should be like, why, bae?
Yeah. They need to know.
Because me and Nate go way back. Or when I was going through this about my mom, Nate was there, or Connor has always looked out for me. And I get that you want to defend your friends because that's what you're supposed to do. That's a brethren right there. But if she says, I don't like Nate because when you're with Nate, this happens, or every time Connor comes over, he behaves like this. You should take those things into accountability. I'm not saying eliminate Nate and Connor and Brandon and all of them, but listen to what your mate is saying, because you're looking at your friends with rose-colored glasses.
Right.
These are your people. You've been through things. But when someone new looks at your friends, they're telling you, here's an aspect of your friendship that
maybe you don't
not
see
good for your growth.
And you don't see it.
And you don't see it. It's just like you ain't washed clothes in a week. You don't think that your house stank. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you don't know that your house smells like dirty socks because you're used to being in there.
Yeah.
But somebody comes over and the first thing why does it smell like corn chip? That's how you can be with your friends that you've been around too long. You don't see the fucked up shit that they do.
Right.
Because, oh, that's just Connor.
Hey, Stink. Hey, Stink.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Stink. That's wild. I'll never want to know my friends say that shit.
Hey, yo, Tone, you just had spoke on something that I wanted to ask you about.
Speak on it, bro.
Another social norm, transactional relationships. What is that?
What is a transactional relationship? Okay.
It's
new. Wait, well, before you go to that, let me make one more point about the whole having people around your spouse or people being around each other to hold each other accountable. People are subconsciously sabotaging. They are subconsciously sabotaging because they will have something wrong with them. And now you're around them. You're supposed to be able to stand on your 10 toes, and you're supposed to still be able to stay true to what you know is good for you.
Right.
And if you find yourself around folk who don't have that ability, you need to steer them in the right direction. Not join them. Don't join them.
Sometimes
go.
Or encourage them to continue to do it.
Right. I was just saying, you can encourage them,
right?
But you also got to be realistic. Some people are not ready for the proper level of accountability that needs to be there.
Yeah.
We said on previous episodes before, being the victim is a safe space for a lot of people.
It is, definitely.
So if I can be the person who's my girl is getting down on me, I don't know, man, she's trying to change who I am, instead of saying I really need to stop doing these bad habits. Being the victim in that scenario is easier for people to deal with.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it's easier to get people on your side, because being the victim will bring other victims together, and victims will continuously keep that toxic behavior. And I hate using that word.
It's a word.
It's
a disease, though.
That's what it is.
And they keep growing that same toxic behavior. And I hate social media does this, it validates your toxic behavior.
Yes.
Like if you can easily go online and be like, man, my girl getting on my nerves, she won't let me hang out with the guys. And there will be strangers who you have never met before. Man, that's why you can't be dealing with these women. They always want to be controlled. And it's like, but bro, she not trying to control you. She just wants you to stop being an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Wants the
You
best
know?
for you.
But
That's another social norm.
Yeah.
Playing fucking victim.
Mm.
Everybody wants to be a fucking victim.
because victims make you famous.
Yo,
Mm.
everybody's wearing their
Lifetime
emotions on their
has a whole
sleeves.
network geared around someone being a victim
Yeah.
in the story that's being told.
Yeah.
So if you follow the narrative and say, I'm the victim in this situation, and not really paying attention that you truly are the villain,
Mhm.
because we're even doing that right now, where as we're going back and we're looking at things that we grew up in life and we're looking back, it was like, yo, this whole time I thought my mom was just being abandoned by my dad and didn't want to be there. But now you come to find out, no, you kept pushing dad away.
Or your
Right.
mom's a
You're
bitch.
you're the real villain. You know what I'm saying? You're the real villain here. And this whole time that's why I love what Disney been doing with their movies lately.
Oh,
with
yes.
the
Oh,
villain
yes.
story.
Yes,
And now you go back and
yes.
you look like Maleficent looks completely different to me.
Not just
Like
that.
I don't feel bad for Sleeping Beauty. You a casualty, but your dad was a whole bitch ass nigga. So that's how we got
Not-
here.
Not just that, but the Joker as well. The
Yeah,
Joker
even that.
plays a real good part in,
Yeah.
in
That-
victim mentality.
The victim
Because-
mentality. Yeah.
Because
We're gonna
We're gonna put a pin in that.
We're
That's
gonna
a
put a
whole
pin in
nother
that,
show.
yeah.
can you tell me what a transactional relationship is?
Okay.
Anybody in the chat, tell me what you think it
Transactional
is.
relationship.
I think
Hold on.
No, I want to hear what Tashina
Oh.
has to say. What do you think it is?
I think is when you're.
I love your glasses, by the
Thank
way.
you.
You are a
Thank
beautiful
you.
woman.
Thank
Both y'all
you.
bitch.
Thank you.
Thank
Both of y'all
you.
women.
Thank you.
Look at you. You're so fruity.
I love that.
Chill out.
Oh, that was that.
You're like a little fruit basket,
Chill
girl.
out.
Fruit basket with braces. I want to eat
Hey,
you up.
hey, hey, hey. That is a married woman. Calm
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
You
But
good.
the compliment is cute.
Still bringing them to the yard. I see. Still bringing them to the yard.
I'm done.
So Tashina,
what's your thoughts?
Transactional relationship.
So a transactional relationship is when you're giving something and you're receiving something.
Isn't
Yeah.
that supposed to be what a
But that's the
relationship
whole-
is?
But
Well,
that
everybody is meant to be used,
Okay, but
Just
when
not
you're
misused.
not misused.
Boom, boom,
Exactly.
boom, boom, boom.
Mhm.
Okay, so isn't a relationship a give and take thing?
It is.
So isn't a relationship a transactional engagement?
yes and no.
Yes.
So this is what makes a transactional relationship different
Yeah.
than a standard relationship.
I got some over it.
You're giving and I'm giving with the intentions of eventually growing to an us. Okay. We are both. I like her. She likes me. We want to see where things go. We pour into each other continuously.
Yep.
You may have a hard day at work, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make you feel better after work. And then we work together to prep for the next day so it don't be as hard as today.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's how a relationship
I
should
thought
be.
a transactional relationship was like a Joe and a prostitute.
To a certain extent, it is.
Peace.
That is also a form
No,
of one, but
That is
that's
formal. But in today's
That's a
society,
misuse, though.
Yeah.
that's some issue. In
Mhm.
today's society, a transactional relationship is the woman wanting the man to be the financial provider for everything in regards to their life, and the only thing that they're willing to give to that person is sex, or they introduce their sexual prowess as the benefit for you to do all this for me. Or a guy who leads with his money and feel like my money, my status, what I can do is the reason why you should pick and choose me.
Okay.
There is no aspect of growing with love. There is no intentions of building a stronger bond. There is
Right.
no intention of us becoming a we without the financial status. So in
Right.
this situation, once the money dries up, so does the whole relationship.
Peace. So what is the opposite of a transactional relationship?
Yes.
What is the opposite of that? Like, is there
A
there
romantic
ano-
endeavor.
Okay, so which is better? Because it seems like the transactional is better, and I might be on the side of hypergamous, but I feel that building something greater than yourself is a transaction.
okay.
Okay,
It is. But let me ask you-
hold on. Let me land.
I think everything is transactional.
I get it.
though.
I got you.
Everything.
So
Well,
let
go
me
ahead,
ask,
go ahead, go
but let me ask you this question though. If building something
I'm not
greater
on camera.
is the intent of what you consider a transactional relationship, are you working with people who specialize in this particular field? Like if I wanted to build my own house, am I going to go hire people who know how to do the job, or I'm going to go hire people who just happen to be available?
You gotta hire a person or persons that are able to do the job.
To do the job right, not just who's available to come do it that day.
Yeah,
I'm not just gonna call somebody up who's
going
who could help me put this floor in, who don't know what putting the floor in looks like. But
dude, that's just like me though. I just, this is the reason why I'm here. And this is why I appreciate y'all, by the way. You know what I'm saying? We had this meeting saying I just want to be available and present within this process of building. I don't know what I'm doing. You're teaching me. She's teaching me. Everyone is teaching me. I'm nothing but a sponge, and I'm learning.
And that's understandable, and that's workable because you presented yourself as a sponge.
Right.
You presented yourself as a blank slate,
Canvas,
whatever works for you, to be able to learn and grow.
Peace.
Okay.
Peace.
In return, you're supposed to take what you learn. And not only are you supposed to build yourself as an individual, but then you're supposed to take the resources that you have learned and you've developed and you've cultivated, and then bring it back to the family and be like, for all of those who helped me get where I am today, I am now being able to help you in ways that benefit you. But at the end of the day, you're still building and cultivating the friendship.
I got another one for you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It's your show.
Conditional and unconditional love.
Boom.
There we go. That is, that is transactional relationship. Love with conditions.
Yes.
Love is in conditions. Didn't you just just relate that if your guy was going through the same struggle as you would have left him a mile ago?
But if she was going according to social norms.
I was going
according to that struggle.
But just in general,
so if your guy was going through some type of an addiction, rather it be not alcohol,
right?
We're talking about other substances, rather it be video games, telephone, drugs, whatever. If he had that type of addiction, you wouldn't be able to stay with him. That's what you said.
Well, because she's in recovery. Her situation would look a little bit different,
but it definitely would look different.
Yeah,
but every struggle is different, don't you say?
Well, everybody's recovery is different because I too was in a place where, once upon a time where I needed help and I had some situations.
Of course.
So it's like I needed somebody to support me and be there to help me. So I know everybody's situation is different. Everybody's recovery is different. I think it depends on the situation and the boundaries that person is setting. And actually, because, you have to give yourself an expiration date on how much of this you can take, because it can't keep going. The person has to be taking those proper steps, putting in that action to actually want to get some help. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's more of like, you can't just be having an issue and just sitting on it. Like, hey, what we doing here? We need to figure it out.
Right. So basically, I think what you're saying is you can't just sit around and watch them abuse it, and you're trying to help them, but they're not ready, and they just want to abuse. They want to abuse. At that point in time, I can't stay.
Yeah. So
because now it's jeopardizing my well-being as well. And until that person is ready to get help, I got to step away for a second. I can come, like we were saying earlier, I can still come check on you. I'm still here for you.
Love you from afar.
And it don't even have to be that far. I could be right up the street. Yeah. I'm gonna come check in on you.
From afar.
I can only imagine. That's a tough situation.
Yeah. And I think even the same thing goes when it comes to your children. So,
yeah.
If your children is dealing with something that's close to what you're dealing with, it's like you're not going to walk away from your children. You got to actually put on that, that armor of protection. Like, hey, God, I need you to guide me through this and lead me through this, because this is a lot. So in situations like that, you can't just put your will into it. You got to put God on it.
But if your child, I've seen this too, your child stealing your TV, and you come home, your jewelry gone, and and they done left with your car, and all your rims is off, and now you trying to break me while you breaking yourself. That's what we were saying earlier. that's when I know it's time for me to remove myself and not be as available, because now you're gonna have me at the bottom with you. And how can I help you if we both at the bottom?
Yeah.
Peace.
Right? I'm gonna go ahead and clap for that, because
Yes. I wish I would have seen you at the event that we held at Kinky's. Weren't you there?
yeah,
Were
she
you
was
there?
there.
I knew I seen your fine ass.
Sheena has
All
been
right.
at everything. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
Look,
Shit.
this
Boundaries.
this is what we were talking about
Boundaries.
at the podcast.
I was there.
Yeah.
She was there.
Yeah, I was
She's
there.
been
She was
to
there.
each one so far.
But
Mhm.
you
All
brought
right.
And
up
she'll be at game night Friday
All right.
hosting.
Can I
Hosting.
get
But
some? No,
that-
you're gonna leave me
that
hanging.
brings up
All right.
something. You just said something, and I kind of want to pivot on this a
Yeah.
little bit. Is changing social norms when it comes to parenting. There is a major generational curse that slowly but surely we are breaking, and it is the types of discipline.
Mhm.
There are a lot of adults between the ages of 30 and 50 that are still suffering from child abuse from a generation of parents who believe that the belt was the answer for everything.
Spare the
Getting
rod, you
snatched
spoil
out
the
the bed.
child.
Man, getting snatched out the bed in the middle of the night because you ain't do the
Oh,
dishes.
yeah,
And-
that's
and-
good though. Is that not good or is that not bad?
No,
I
that-
have a whole different.
Okay, so now he's then brought the whole spectrum
Yeah, I
of
have a whole
discipline.
different outlook on
No,
that.
and the reason why
He brought the whole
and I'm going, and the only reason why I'm going here with this one is
All right.
because it is definitely still a very taboo yet highly talked about topic right now, because some people are still suffering from serious childhood trauma
Yeah.
from that. And unfortunately, it's one thing to discipline your child and even do it with physical. It's another thing to abuse your child. And that's something that's actually a generational curse that has been handed down to us in slavery.
Yeah.
Because when it came time for discipline within in the slaves' houses, they only knew how to discipline what they have been seen as discipline. So a lot of people would literally go
Whip.
to belts and whips and stuff like that,
Switch.
and switches and whatnot, because that's what
Extension
they
cords.
seen previously before.
Yep.
And the only reason why I'm bringing that up is because there were times where physical abuse was too extreme for the
Mhm.
circumstances. And now we have a generation where we're trying to navigate when it is good and when it is not good, because you have some households that will never whoop or spank their kids at all. And they have very successful children
Mhm.
who grow up and they become the pillar of the community. And meanwhile, at their cousin's house, they get whipped for everything that their cousins are growing up in fear.
Yeah.
Now, they still may become pillars of society, but it may also be a little fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. I am an example of a household that was ruled by fear.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Would you consider yourself a pillar?
I have given people a platform to be able to sort out
Yes.
their society problems. So yes, I would consider
Yeah.
myself a pillar.
Mhm.
Yes.
Definitely.
Put like this, I'm a good person.
I was about to say, you better toot that motherfucker.
I'm a good person.
Is it a toot?
You
on here?
toot your own, you gotta
Ain't no
toot horns
Ain't no
horn,
toot for me
toot
to
tones
get on,
horn,
but-
toot
Yeah.
tones horn.
Ain't no toot
So
going on.
it's
No, but the reason
No
why I want to
diddy.
bring that up is because now we tend to have, with the generation of parents starting as early as their teens
Mhm.
now,
Mhm.
they're still navigating childhood. Some of them are just now experiencing adulthood, but they're also experiencing motherhood and fatherhood at the exact same time. And then they don't have the proper example of how to discipline. And then here's this 8-month-old baby with colic who's crying his eyes out, and they don't know how to deal
deal
with
with
this
it.
situation.
Exactly.
So the first thing that they want to do, because once again, they're
Whoop
still
the
kids,
child.
is they want to pop the kid and spank the kid. And it's like, this becomes your default. Or we're labeling the kids as being bad, and really all they are just being active and curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there are not moments where you ain't got to pull a belt out on that little nigga because he wild. But at the same time, we can't be the folks in the grocery store telling little Billy to stop because he having a whole fit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's one, I think the societal norm, what I basically get to what it is, we need to have this discussion somewhere in the world where we got to figure out what healthy
Discipline really looks
like.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what I was talking
That's
about.
a great point.
Especially when they start to become teens, because I don't know what the hell happened, but when girls turn into teenagers, y'all be having a hard time with them as moms. Like, I've seen so many
I didn't really struggle with my daughter.
Your kids are
amazing.
different. Your kids are amazing. I don't know what you put in your kids, but your kids is different. Okay,
Yes.
they are different.
I don't know your kids like that, but they are amazing.
Why are you holding the mic like
Because
that?
They don't need to know that.
Your kids
and
I
are
only
amazing.
seen
Mike's.
I've seen all four of them, but the way your son and your youngest bonds together is that's unrealistic.
You know,
They tight. They real tight.
They tight. And then the fact that your second youngest, you have to remind yourself she there.
She be quiet.
She be too quiet. But
that's beautiful.
It is.
Thank you.
And then your other one is respectful, even though she at that age where most women would be having these combative issues with their daughters. Y'all are like
Sophie.
Still calling, checking in, talking. Y'all respect each other's boundaries.
Yeah.
Y'all have that conversation in the cars, and y'all have a great relationship. So your kids don't count.
Well, her children is mac and cheese.
Yep.
So
relationship.
it's a mixture of things. And that's what I meant by mac and cheese, like her the way she communicates. That's what I was
getting at.
Yeah, it's the communication that you cultivate within your community of family. Sorry, I've been drinking.
No, it's okay.
Yes.
See,
What you
see, and I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Yes. No more drinks for you tonight.
No more.
One more.
No more.
Nope.
Nope. Eat a sandwich first.
I'm not on camera. But look, it's the
you.
communication that we're trying to cultivate that is familiar within our family. Is what I was trying to say. Like you've created and cultivated this comfort with your children and with your family, your friends, everyone.
And I make it a point to them, and I tell them when I was growing up,
I
tell them, I be real with them.
Because we had an Uncle
when
Johnny.
I was growing up,
Uncle Johnny.
We did have Uncle Johnny.
We had Uncle Johnny.
Yeah, when I was growing up,
speaking
this
of
happened.
all this time.
I wasn't actually talking about him. It was just a generic name.
Jerry Curl.
He is funny, but I would tell my kids when I was growing up, if somebody didn't confess to doing something, we all got a spanking. We lined up, and we all got in a line, and we would all get a whooping until somebody admitted who did it,
which is abuse.
Which
not abuse.
But because if you think
that
about
is camaraderie.
It depends on who's coming from. It depends on perspective.
But take that. Let's take that.
But
scenario.
for me, that was traumatic for me.
Right. Because
for me, it was a form of abuse.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
So let's take that concept.
So I've used that as an example for my kids so that they understand. But I am choosing to treat you as a person,
right?
In a sense of I am going to talk to you. I'm going to communicate with you because at the end of the day, I want you to feel safe enough to speak to me. When you make a mistake, you need to feel safe enough to come to me and say, "Ma, I messed up."
Exactly.
And I'm not about to line you up and
you know what's funny?
It's
if you take that and you take that thought process, that is one of the things that is definitely deeply rooted in slavery. And the behaviorism of doing that. Because even if you think back then, when the overseer wanted to know who did what A, B, C, D,
breaking the book,
they would put them all. It'll create dissension. It will create that you don't trust in regards to each other.
And now we snitching on each
and
other.
you snitching on each other, and now
you my brother, you my sister.
You don't
want to
take your little sister nowhere with you because she gonna go back and tell because she don't want to get an unnecessary whooping that ain't got nothing to do with her. So now you start having a crack in the family structure as a whole, all because you wanted to make them confess to something materialistic that happened instead of cultivating a safe space where they should feel comfortable with coming to you and be like, Mommy, Daddy, I accidentally broke the lamp.
Yeah.
We were in there playing in the front room. I know you told us not to, but we were bored. So we started throwing the ball around and we broke the lamp. Yeah. Okay. You're going to get in trouble for playing when I told you not to, but you're not getting in trouble for breaking the lamp.
Right.
Because one, that's materialistic. We can replace that. Two, I need to go in here and make sure there's no glass all over the place.
Let me make sure you okay.
I got to check to see if you okay. Like there's other things I have to worry about instead of trying to figure out which one of you two broke it. At the end of the day, the lamp is broken. There's no reason to be upset about that anymore.
Right.
The case now is I want to make sure that you're safe, but more importantly, I want to make sure that you're safe enough to talk to me. Because if you build that when you're younger and you got your kids comfortable with coming to mom and dad about the little things, now you ain't got to worry about them worried about not coming to you
for the big things.
Damn,
and that's what I do with mine.
The way you just expressed that, you made me want to have kids now. Honestly, like I don't got no children. I got goldfish. But
let me read. I'm sorry. Let me read that comment. Somebody got to be responsible out of the bunch. That's why when I go out with family, I be the one that don't drink. That's JJ.
That's real.
Shout out to JJ. We got this. Looks like somebody that knows you, Tashemia, but I can't read that font.
Okay, Shima. Thank you for dropping me off to college every day. Shima knows, trust. She's the truth. Big respect. Love you, cuz.
Love you, cuz.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
And
so we got two JJs in a row.
I'm even yelling at my son.
Yes, and
Brittany, I know that you hate yelling at your son, but you got to understand that there's a difference between, talking with someone and talking to someone. You have to talk.
I think our son
them.
Is like 3.
Talk with them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any children, like I said, but I know
that just brings another societal norm. Stay in a child's place.
Yeah.
But when you were saying things about Uncle Johnny, I
wasn't saying anything about Uncle Johnny. Let's be clear.
We are not talking about Uncle Johnny.
Okay.
I'm just saying Uncle Johnny as a quotation.
Yes, quotation.
You see my hands, bam, bam, tap it. Anyways, when you're talking to Uncle Johnny saying, hey, I think that you had too many things to drink. There were that's another norm of staying in a child's place.
How you see that?
Mind your business.
Mind your business. And when as me growing up, like as
that feeling that
you
people
don't
get
call me out on my own bullshit.
That okay.
All right, you're a little kid. You shut up and you shut up and sit back.
But what if your kids?
No.
And I'm just gonna say for me.
Yeah.
Now in my days of drinking, it was my kids.
You were lit.
That point out certain things and say, "Mom, you okay? You been drinking?" Like they point out those negatives. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes you need that for your kids to call you out on your stuff because it kind of puts you in a place of like, am I doing?
Yes.
I must be if my kids saying something.
But that's the guilt and a lack of accountability because I love anyone who can call me out on my shit. If I got something on my face, I don't care if it's a bum, my nephew, my friend. Tell me I got something on my face. All right.
What you were saying, Tom?
I was going to say, going back off of the Brittany's comment and then following it up with Tashemia's in regards to it. That younger generation, that fresh new face generation, I love that this generation, one of the things that they are doing is they're allowing them to have a voice.
Yeah.
It is very, very important for the youth to be able to have a voice now, no matter if you're 3, 13, 18, whatever. Giving them a voice helps us as adults become better.
Yeah.
My daughters are 8 and 11 because one of them just had their birthday.
Got beautiful daughters, by the way. Beautiful
And
daughters.
You've met my daughters.
I
They're
have.
very quiet, very reserved, very girly. They're
They
little
are.
princesses.
They are.
But they also convey to me. We talk. I speak to them. I figure out, how are you feeling? My youngest is very vocal about everything that she does or doesn't like in regards to it. And because of that, it made me a better parent because I now know how to maneuver with you. I know what are your triggers, what are your happinesses, how you speak. And more importantly, it created a bond that my daughters have no problem talking to me about anything. But at the same time, they make better life choices because they don't want to disappoint me. I haven't had to whoop my kids at all. Okay.
I haven't had to whip mine either.
I apologize. When my youngest, when they were younger, and I used to catch myself getting frustrated at some of the things that they did. And growing up from a household where my mom used physical discipline, it was my first reaction at first. But then I started getting to the point where I would catch myself and I'd be like, did this deserve a whooping? Was this severe enough that I had to pop their hand?
I don't feel like it's ever that severe. I don't know.
When is it severe?
But see, the thing about it is, me asking that was not about really asking if the situation determined that. It was more so resetting my mindset of physical discipline is not necessary, especially with this generation. Early, because this generation is very
sensitive, snowflakes.
It's very materialistic and emotionally available that little things like taking stuff or reducing their access to things or limiting their level of communications, that has a major impact on them. Like my daughters right now, they love their phones. I don't ever have to discipline you over your device. Like I don't have to whoop you. All I have to do is limit your access to it. I have to limit your access to what you can and can't do. And that has more of an impact on their behaviors and changing their behaviors than any physical thing.
Right.
I cancel birthdays, Christmases,
Yeah.
Easters.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Things like that.
Things that make an actual, like,
an impact.
Is going to provide a positive outcome.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Where they're going to learn from it. And then they're going to remember that in a good way to actually, you know, take them with them when they grow up.
And I bring that up is because their mother, who did not 100% come from as an abusive household as I did, she sometimes catches her anger can get the better of her. And there'll be times where my youngest would truly frustrate her to the point where she has to leave completely because she will resort to like physical discipline and unnecessariness of it. And I tell her like, no, hold on. Let's calm you down for a minute here. What did Tiana do? Did you do this? Did you talk to this? Did you check this? Did you make sure of this? What was she saying before you got triggered? Because a lot of times my youngest will tell you what she needs.
Now, what do you think about letting kids express themselves, letting them be in their emotions, letting them have those different feelings? There's a movie, Inside Out, that talks a lot about
that movie. I just seen Inside Out too.
We literally watch it like it's almost to the point we watch it all the time.
I told my nephews
really
that every
does.
time you feel
every
time you gotta hug yourself.
Yeah, there's this stigma that we can't let our kids get angry without feeling disrespected. We can't let our kids feel certain emotions with us present because it is taken as a sign of disrespect. I don't do that with my kids. I let my kids get angry.
You want to hear something funny? My youngest, when she throws her tantrums, okay, I let her throw them.
Yeah.
There's been times I literally will be sitting there playing the game and I tell her, well, you can't have that. And you know that you're supposed to do it. Because with my kids, I talk to them like adults.
Yeah.
We have regular conversations. I'm like, Tiana.
What is an adult? Like, do you talk to them like a human being or do you talk to them like an adult?
I talk to them like an adult because the reason why I say I talk to them like adult, because everything I talk to them about, I give them choices.
Yeah.
And not only do I give them choices, I tell them what the consequences of their choices is and what it's going to have the effect in regards to it. So for an example, if you decide that you want to have your dinner now at 4:00 when you normally know we eat at 7, if you get hungry at 9:00, guess what? You're going to still have to go to bed, babes.
Right.
You know, you still got to go to bed. I don't care. You don't get a snack. You get something to drink. You can't get no snack.
Yeah.
So here it is. You decide to eat at 4 o'clock, even though you had lunch at noon like normal. You chose not to eat your lunch that day.
Yeah.
So now this shift in your eating habits will result in you having to make a decision of, do you want to eat your lunch do you want to eat this dinner now at 4? Or do you want to wait till 6 or 7 where it's more closer? So I talked to them like adults. So this particular day, she wanted to watch something. Now, they were on punishment because of a decision they made before. So she called herself throwing a fit because she couldn't do that. I sat there and kept playing the game. Every 5 to 10 minutes. You done yet? Oh, you're not? Okay, cool. Kept going back without doing. Let you have your moment. Get that out your system. Let you throw your whole fit. Now it's out your system. It's like, you done yet? Yeah. So what did we learn? I can't watch TV. Okay, go to bed. Like, get it out your system. I'm not going to make you go to bed with anger on you.
Right.
Because it doesn't resolve anything. Let's find out why you're angry. Let you have your moment. Let you vent. Let it get out your system.
Right.
Now it's out your system. Why were you so upset? Because I really wanted to watch YouTube. But why can't you watch YouTube, though? Because I didn't do this. So
it's your fault. It's consequences.
Like you say, so what can you do to change that? Well, I can make sure my homework's done.
And see, that's how I like them to learn.
Right.
Those are the type of lessons that I would prefer them to learn from, is that I'm walking you through the journey of your decision.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me tell you. Oh, so you wanted to go to this event, right? You spent all your money. You could have made wiser choices. You didn't have to have the cotton candy, the large lemonade, the slice of pizza, and the corn dog. And now you spent all your money at the fair. Now, later in the week is, Ma, can I get $20 to go to the mall? What happened to your allowance? I spent it at the fair. So then what are you doing at the mall with no money?
You making bad life choices.
So now it's teaching you need to be more mindful of how. And now we're talking about the value of money. Now we're having even better conversation. We're talking about money. What does it mean to you? What is your relationship with money? Why is money important? Now we're opening more doors to create more dialogue.
And let's stop right there. That is also another social norm that we are changing
now.
I
want to have kids now.
But that conversation or that right there, we're changing a major social norm in the African American community because we don't know the value of money.
Anything.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You don't know the value of value.
And don't get me wrong, I will never knock the hustle on what people like to do with their money. I will never tell people what to do and what not to do with their money. And I really hated it during the pandemic when everybody was like, take your $1,200 and go get an LLC. For what? If you don't know what to do with the LLC, you wasting your time. Plus, to get an LLC is free anyway. So I don't know what you do. But
come on now.
The thing about it is,
I said what I said.
But the thing about it is now we are having these conversations, and we're having people who are teaching us things about home ownership, credit cards. Even if you do decide to open a business, now we're not just out here hustling.
Right.
We're now being actual entrepreneurs. So if I'm over here and I decide to create myself a t-shirt business, I'm not making t-shirts so I can sell them at Bastille Days and make a quick bucks. No, I'm creating myself a whole brand now. I'm now learning how to take my own money and make it my capital, but turn around and how to make my capital make me money.
Right.
Now we're starting to understand what the word capital really means. It's not just the street on the north side.
Right.
It actually has purpose, and it's a reason to grow it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody was here for that. not everybody was here for capital.
Hold on,
but even now, people are getting bank accounts. I remember my brother, I love my brother to death, but I remember there was a point in time where he was working a job, and he was at the job for 5 years, and every single Friday, because he got paid weekly, he's at the cashiers cashing his check and then putting his money in his pocket. And I'm sitting here like, bro, why don't you have a bank account?
Right.
Well, I like to keep my money. But why? Because do you know when you have actual cash in your hand, you're quicker to spend your money
Yep, that's
than it
true.
is.
And
if
it doesn't
you had
accrue interest.
Mhm.
Well, it
Save.
depends on the kind of accountant. That's
Yeah.
another conversation. You know, I
Yeah.
work at a financial
Or
institution.
people not paying into their 401k.
Yeah.
People
you
don't even know.
Retired.
People don't have
Right.
life insurance.
People don't
I-
even know. People don't know
yeah.
you don't need a job to have life insurance.
Yeah.
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
$7 a month, y'all.
It's a
$7
lot.
a
So
month.
people are learning a lot now, way more than we ever did. Like I've had my 401k bail me out,
Mhm.
and I didn't even know I had it.
Yes, exactly.
I've had it was. I remember this was my very first apartment I
My
had.
mentor.
Finances got hard. I lost my job. I'm behind 3 months on the rent. All of a sudden, randomly, I get a letter in the mail, and it's like, well, here's a summary of your 401k, and it's like $5,000 in there, and I'm like, hey.
You said thank you,
So
God.
I'm like, hey. So I call up.
That's where
I get
$10,000 came.
I called up, got a little Asian lady on the phone. I was like, hey,
Retirement.
what is this? What is my 401k? How do I get this money?
That'd be mine.
Like, how do I get access to this money? She's like, yeah, if you want to, we can go ahead and send you money right now. It's like, oh, do I get all of it? Well, you know, there's going to be a penalty. How much is the penalty? Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm still going to get $4,000 out of it, right? All right, cool. I was like, how soon am I going to get that? Well, if you got a bank account, it could be there in about 3 days. Damn, I ain't got no bank account. Well, we can mail you a check. You hung up the phone, called my landlord. Hey, peep game. So I found out I had a 401k. He was like, oh, so when can I get my money? Like, nigga, you're going to get your money in 4 days. So you can get your money in 4 days. Cool. You can stay in the apartment then. So I literally paid off my back rent and had about 3 months of rent covered from money that I didn't even know I had saved.
Yes.
Fast forward to fast forward to about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I went back and looked at my new 401k. My sister said, hey, Tone, I want to start a podcast. You and your brother already got something going on, but I don't like how y'all sound because it sounds shitty. We need something better. Went to my 401k, took out $2,000, bought the equipment. We here now because of that.
Yes.
Peace,
You know?
peace on hood.
And it's and I'm only
Hell.
bringing this story up because, like I told you, you asked me about my story. My story runs deep. Okay, I need to make a book about it.
Deep.
But the thing about it is the reason why I'm saying that is now that I knew about that, imagine how much money that people probably leave on the table during times of crisis. I found out you could take emergency loans out your 401k. Yes, you're gonna have to pay it back with interest, but that's your money anyway. Let's not complain.
Yeah.
You can use your money if you need tuition. You say you want to go back to school. You got a 401k at your job. You can take money out for tuition and they ain't even going to charge you.
Right.
You need your roof fixed or anything done in regards to your house. You can take money out your 401k and get these home repairs that you need done that you didn't know you have done. This is money that a lot of us have that we don't even know exists. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the social norm right now is changing the narrative of what finances used to look like.
Yeah.
Our parents used to say, don't owe nobody nothing. Pay everything off in full. Don't never have to owe anybody. And then next thing you know it, we decide to say, okay, I got a wife, I got kids, I want to go buy a house. Oh, you ain't got no credit. We can't give you nothing.
Right.
Credit is king.
Yep.
All because our parents did not let us learn what credit was. You told us not to owe anybody, or even worse. And I hate them for
But
this.
it was also their parents and their
Right.
parents.
But I also hate this too. 18 years old, you in college, you need to go to the bookstore and you need to get these expensive ass books, but there happens to be a table sitting right outside with some random white guy in a sweater vest saying, hey, I can get you a $2,000 credit card. Just sign right here. And you get approved.
Could have been building your credit then.
And even then, you didn't know what it is. You are an 18-year-old kid with a $2,000 credit card.
Not to mention all the student loans you took out.
You know what I'm saying?
Just to be there.
Just to be there. And no one had these conversations with our generation.
That's some other shit.
You know?
Right there.
But
That's
now they are having these conversations. Now they're being taught this. Now we are going to our kids and we are being smart that we're opening up them credit cards with them low interest rates and we're slapping our kids on them cards as authorized users at the age of 15.
We learning.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of putting your instead of putting your kids' electricity bill in the child's name and still fucking no credit up.
Smart man.
Definitely. Well, you know what?
That's why I'm interviewing you to be my mentor.
Well, this has been a dope conversation. I feel like we're gonna have to do this again, Tashemia.
I got some more to say, but it's okay. I know.
Yes.
But Tashemia, you part of the family, so it's not like you won't.
You can come anytime.
Right.
That's
No,
what
I'm
I'm like.
thinking
We
about
gotta do this
opening up my
again.
own podcast. Now that I'm thinking about it, y'all some beautiful women, and if I can have y'all say more words, hashtag podcast, more words.
I'm done.
Yeah, it was.
But Yes, this was a great conversation. I mean, it's so many other things that we can dive into. Before we go though, I do want you to go ahead and drop your information one last time in case people missed it at the beginning of the show. How can they reach Tashemia? How can they become a part of your organization? And what events again should they be looking out for?
Okay, yes. So you can follow me on my Facebook page. It's Tashemia, last name Dean. Also, you can follow my nonprofit Fight Anxiety, Addiction, and Adversity Corporation at Fight AAACORP.